Okay, so we have this 3-piece set we're going to get started on. So I am going to go ahead and clean all the drawers out and just check on the slides. There were a lot of slides that were messed up when we picked up this piece for free off of Facebook Marketplace. So I'm taking off the hardware here, prepping it to be cleaned, and I will go ahead and fix those drawers as well once I get this hardware off and get it situated. With the drawer glides, I usually use wood glue and then also an adhesive like a E6000 to put this back on, and I use my staple gun to put the staples back at the back side and in the front to secure it back into place. I took this piece outside because it finally warmed up, and I scrubbed it with vinegar and water. It's extremely dusty. It had been sitting for a while. They said that it was a gentleman's grandmother who gave it to him, and they've just had it forever, and they were changing up their style with new family. So I'm just using my drill attachment and a scrub brush to get all those nooks and crannies on the dresser. Then I went, again, the top is plastic, so I went and made sure that I scuffed sand all of it with a 100 grit sandpaper. And then these hardware holes, because I was changing them out, I went ahead and puttied the middle drawer so I could put a knob in that area. So I do use the Keekwood 2-in-1 epoxy that you just mush it together and combined it so that you can fill a hole easier. I wasn't really needing to pull out the Bondo for this set, so I just did the inside and the outside with the Keekwood to cover those holes, and then I went back and sanded them smooth. Then I did go ahead and do one full coat of a primer spray on the detailed areas, and then I went and took my Kilts Ultra and rolled it on the tops and the sides. With this piece, these pieces, I had to pull out the doors to get the edging. So I am here pulling it out and rolling it, and I'm finally putting on the tape to make sure I do not get paint on the edges or the sides. Should have done this before, I promised, but you know, I get ahead of myself sometimes. So for this set, I decided to paint spray it. I ended up mixing, I can't remember, it was like 60-30. That would be 60-40% of water. I did like 14 ounces of paint and then 8 ounces of water. So that's pretty much what I put in my paint sprayer, and it ended up being a smooth finish. I've always had difficulty figuring out how much paint to put in there. A lot of people say using a velocity cup really helps. I did not have one at the time, so I just tested it out on the cardboard until I was able to have no splatters and the paint was thick enough and not so watery. So here I am just spraying along. It really worked out well. I got this set done in 24 hours. I'm really happy with, and now that I know how much paint and water to mix together to put in the sprayer, I can get a lot more pieces done this year for my goal. I have been painting for 10 years. I've been using my hand. I've used a paint sprayer every now and again, but again, I can never get it right. And because I'm so ADHD and just hate filling with stuff and messing things up. I just didn't want to. I haven't learned, and now I have. So now we have the future ahead of us. So here I am, just spraying all these pieces down, and I'm gonna put them in the sun because it is cold outside for them to dry. I have it mix more paint, so here we go. We're gonna just paint them all up. Here's me adding those bronze antique hardware drawer knobs. This piece really turned out. I love this matte black from Behr. It's called Limousine leather. And here we are. This is the finished set. Absolutely love the way that it turned out. And I hope that you subscribe and follow along. A lot more pieces are going to be coming and a lot more videos. So thank you so much for watching the video through. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thank you.